Hello everyone, I'm going to be saving seeds. I do have the ducks right here, so I don't know how well you're going to be able to hear me all the time, but today is just going to be a quick little video explaining, not saving seeds ironically, but it's going to be talking about the blue Swedishes and the color variations that you get and what you can get from crossing different ones. I'm trying to get back into my regular programmed things. It has been a little bit harder, but it's going to be okay. So, first thing that I want to talk about is, yes, this is going to be, like I just said, a Blue Swedish video. So it will be in my Blue Swedish podcast, my Blue Swedish playlist. So if you are wondering where that is, you can go to my channel page and you can go to click on my profile, or underneath this video you have the thing. Click on that and it should take you right to, it says videos, I think it's playlist and community or something like that. A bunch of little things you can like scroll back and forth on. Find that, go to playlist, and I do have a Blue Swedish playlist there. So that'll be very interesting to see. Leave comments if you have any questions or anything that you would specifically want to learn about Blue Swedishes. I will very happily talk about them. I am more than ready to talk about them all the time because I really do enjoy ducks, more than I thought I would. So yeah, you will enjoy them, I promise me, or I promise you. Yeah, I promise you. But I am gonna go ahead and start off with the only breed that's with the APA, the American Poultry Association, is the blue color variation of the Swedishes, which is what I have, the slate gray, the gray Swedishes, but in the poultry world, anything that's gray, we call them blue. Or lavender, depending on color, but these are blue Swedishes. So if you're wanting to show them or anything like that, that's what you need to do. If you are breeding only black Swedishes, or you were breeding only silvers, which I will talk about all of that in just a moment, they aren't recognized by that, so you can't show them. You could probably show them in like small fairs or whatever. That I'm not 100% on. And then the other thing was, there's no like breed standard for them. Like with the Blue Swedishes, like their colors are all defined, like colors, everything that is defined down to the T in the book, website, whatever way you're looking at it. And the blues are the only ones like this. The other ones aren't. So you will need to do a little bit more research or adjust to your color variation if that's the way that you're wanting to go. But a lot of people don't like breeding something that's not with the APA. Now, let's get into what I was actually going to talk about. Just wanted to give that little foreclosure at the beginning. But, so, when you are breeding anything that's the color blue in the poultry world, you aren't going to get 100% blue hatch rate. You are going to get 50% blue, 25% black, and 25% silver. And that's what hatching out, that's basically exactly what I got, maybe a little bit over, but it wasn't 10 eggs, so I can't really say for sure. But from the hatches that I've done, it's evened out pretty well. That's what it is though. But so that is very interesting. Now, so when you do two blues together, a drake and a duck, you get the 50% blue, 25% black, and 25% silver. Now when you are going to, now if you want to get 100% blue hatch rate, you do... Sorry, these ducks are very distracting right now, and you cannot see me. Jeez, I'm sorry. Whatever. If you're wanting to get 100% blue hatch rate, you will need to have a black and a silver. Whether it's a black drake or a black duck, or a silver drake or a silver hen. So, or duck. So with that, there's a little whatever. You can breed whichever ones to each other with that. The black to silver hen, things like that. That was really confusing, I'm sorry. Minus the last 10 seconds, this is fine. But that's how you get 100% blue hatch rate. Now, I'm not going to say 100%, I'm going to say fully, probably 98 or 99. I mean, I'm sure sometimes you get whatever. You can get something else from it, but very rarely does that happen. When you breed black to black, you get only black. When you do silver to silver, you get only silver. So blues are the only ones that don't breed 100% true with all of that, just because of how they are. And then the same thing with the black and the silver. The whole reason the black and the silver produce 100% blue is because you have the black and then you have the lighter gray, which is, that's what they are. It's double. I don't know if I'm explaining this one part fully, but I'm explaining something. I'm not gonna, never mind. I'm not gonna explain it because I don't want to steer you guys wrong or in the wrong direction, because I am not 100% certain on it. But that's how it is when you breed the black to the silver. It's just diluting the black or darkening it with the gray, whichever way you look at it. Whichever way you look at it. Now, there are some people have said that there's the silver and then there's white Swedish. Well, white, as much as white can be. Just a really, really pale gray. In my opinion, that's what it is. But then again, I really haven't had much. I haven't really had many offspring to go off of. If I have, they were sold, obviously. But all the ones that I had the one gray, which if you guys, or silver, which if you guys were watching. Sorry, these hens are ridiculous. I had the one silver, which passed away, and then we had the one black, and then five, I think. I think it's 4 or 5 blues. But that is basically what you need to be, or what you can expect when breeding Swedishes. Now, I'm going to say there are a few exceptions to the breeding and you blue to blue and you get the 25% and 25%. There is more to the breeding than that. I am going to say that there is more to that, because I have done a little bit more research and found out that you can do different things, but forgot where I was going with that, as I tend to do. But until I remember what I was going off of, the other things that you can breed are, you can do blue to silver, which will give you 50% blue and 50% silver. So in my opinion, if you were going to be breeding blues, you can do the black, but if you really don't like the black, or you have your flock is too dark, you can always just do silvers to blues, and then you can always reintroduce black later on with the blue and blue combo. That's what I would do. I'm going to be going into not like standard definition, but some interesting points to make with the silvers, or with the blue Swedishes. You can also do black to blue, which is going to produce, I'm pretty sure it's 50-50 again, and that would be if your flock was too light, like they had more of this, or you only had one good drake born and it's a black drake. The people do the breeding for that because of certain things. I am going to be getting into that in the next video, which is going to be less all over the place in this one, because I'm not going to be right here, and I should have notes. Today I do not. But yeah, so there are multiple different things that you can do when breeding. I am going to leave a chart. I'm going to type all of this out in the description and have it there in case you didn't fully get it or whatever. I'm going to have it all down in the bottom. I'm going to have the percentages that I talked about in there. Maybe not all of them, but I am going to do the blue and blue, black and silver, silver and blue, black and blue, and silver, silver, black, black. So I'm going to have at least those core ones in there, because that is, not all of it's that important, but when you get into the genetic side of it and you're looking at breeding for standard, then you will want to go about certain things differently, especially when breeding, and how you can know if you have a quote-unquote pure silver, or not silver, quote-unquote pure Swedish duck, because, I mean, hatchery accidents do happen. Drakes can easily get confused. I'm in many Facebook groups, and people are just like, I ordered a Welsh Harlequin Drake, and the thing they got was not a Welsh Harlequin Drake. It was a silver Appleyard. And sometimes the hatcheries do it on purpose if they just need to get out, like if they just have the demand for it, then they'll do things like that, which is never good, but sometimes it can happen. No hate on hatcheries for that. There are other ways to go about it, though. It's not always good, especially when you're looking for breeders, but when you're looking for good breeding stock, always buy from someone who has been breeding for a while, who's willing to send pictures of their stock and things like that. I always recommend keeping a good connection with your breeders, because if there's any problems, then you can always reach out to them easily and just let them know, hey, I might have some questions. If you don't mind answering them, and then you can be like, I don't have any questions now, but I'm sure I'm going to have more questions later. When I got my Welsh Harlequins, I didn't really have a lot of questions up front, but then when I started doing more and more research, I had more and more questions that I needed that I wanted answered, and I could have asked them in different Facebook groups, or I could have simply Googled it. And some of them I did, but talking to her, it completely different. Always recommend talking to a breeder. You don't need to find somebody who's been breeding for a long time to see what their stock looks like. See if you can get pictures of their breeders and maybe post them in a Facebook group with that, if that's fine, and just asking for advice on what these look like. Are these good stock or not? But this is not a Welsh Harlequin video. I will be going into that though later on. Same thing with the genetics of the Swedishes, the genetics of the Welshes, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a shorter video with Welshes. You'll see that. That'll be sometime this week, because this is going up Monday. So it'll be a whole thing, and then yeah. So the genetic portion of all of it will be coming up very shortly. Hopefully with this week. This week I'm gonna just do more duck content. It's easier to make, not really, but it's a lot of information based, which I'm okay with doing. I like the information based. I would rather have a longer video explaining things, not rambling like I have, but it is what it is. So thank you guys for watching. I will leave the description with the genetics in there, and I will also do another video on the genetic portion, so if you have any questions about that, leave them in the comments below, or comment on that video if you're doing this later, and I will answer them as soon as they come in, or as soon as I can get to them. So thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments. I know I've said this a few times, but thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.